what's going on, guys? Welcome to an early edition of the Sunday Night Charts, Jim of All Trades Sunday Night Charts live stream. Hope y'all are well. Welcome to the channel, guys. It is, it's December the 18th already. Isn't that amazing? Christmas next Sunday. That'd be awesome. A week till Christmas. What's up, guys? Good to see Chemo. Thanks for dropping in. Seth, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you, man, for being here. There's Frank and Abandon. Hey, guys. What's up? Abandon baby. Don't abandon the baby. Don't do that. All right. Well, we're going to jump into the charts here. Let me get my picture on the screen, I suppose, if you'd like to see me. There I am. Boom. All right. Let me know you got good audio and video. We'll get rocking tonight. Guys, you might be wondering why we're doing an early Sunday night charts. Well. My team is playing on Sunday night football tonight, the Giants, and I would love to have the night off to just enjoy that game. That'd be fantastic. Church was great. Thank you. The gospel was preached, Brandon, and God's people were encouraged and strengthened today, reminded God's love for us and his forgiveness that he offered when he sent his son to die on a cross for us. Thank you for asking, bud. Johnny English, hey man. Silent Bob. Hey. Silent Bob. I like that name. That's cool. All right. Sound and video good. Hey, Chris. What's up, man? And say hi to you. Good to see you, Chris. I hope you're well. All right, guys. Don't forget, not ready to give you financial advice. Just going to show you what I'm looking at in the market. We'll do our best to make some sense of the wave structure and get ready for what might be coming down the pipe. Super hard to know what's coming down the pipe, but we'll when it's coming. Yeah, why do people celebrate Christmas when Jesus wasn't born at that date? You know, it might be impossible to know the exact day he was born. We know the time. We know the time. You know, we know who was ruling at the time. We know who was. We know current. We know basically about the time, right? And history. There are historians out there. Josephus was one of them who witnessed a lot of the early church things. He was not a believer necessarily, but he wrote down historically a lot of things that happened and whatnot. So, yeah, we have some history there. We have a biblical narrative, and we understand some basic timing, but yeah, December 25th, probably not the day he was born, and it's inconsequential to me. It's a time, but it is a set aside time. Even a lot of our holidays have, to be honest with you, have pagan roots in the roots, and what we often do with them is we redeem. Christians like to redeem those things for the sake of Christ. In other words, a lot of modern holidays have their roots in pagan rituals and pagan holidays. Worship of other gods, and what Christians will often do is bring truth to bear on those days and or around those holidays, and we will. What we call try, I think historically, the Christians have tried to redeem those days for the sake of God's glory. So if you wonder why we do Easter and Christmas and whatnot around those times, they're actually those times are actually rooted in pagan holidays, and Christians have historically tried to redeem those and point people to truth, shed light in darkness. And so yeah, that's a great question, XRP Whale. Thanks for asking that one. I hope you guys don't mind me sharing that. So it's just a day that we do remember that that God came in peace to the world, a sinful world in peace. He came making peace by the blood of his cross. The scripture says in Colossians, he didn't come because he was in his anger to us to deal with us according to our sins, but rather he came to deal with our sins according to his goodness and grace. And so that's worthy of exaltation and praise. And Yeah, if you do a little pagan origin, now I'm not saying Christmas, our Christian holiday, has pagan origin, but the origin of the Christian version of those, or the Christian aspects of those days, are indeed redeeming, and so we celebrate around the same time as the original pagan holidays. So. Anyway, all right, guys. Thanks for asking that good question, and let's jump into the charts. We just had a little bit of a pumpy pump there. I just happened to notice it there, kind of a breakout of a little area. Let's see what's going to happen here on the chart. All right, guys. Well, again, I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm not here to give financial advice. Just want to share my ideas as a as an Elliott waiver. That's a great question too, man. Let me answer that a little later. Absolutely willing to answer that. These are great questions. No, it's on here. Take the paper. Take it, please. I'm already stopped the live stream. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask you to show Spike for my art project. I need a picture of him.
I will take. I'll do that later.
Okay.
That's not something that had to be shown on my YouTube live, buddy. All right, there's 10-year-olds for you. All right. Innovation. Yeah. That's a great question. I've got a good answer for you. That should satisfy you, but yeah. Let's. No, I wouldn't say it's innovation. It's Christians taking just a quick answer. It's Christians taking days that are set aside for worship of a false god and pointing people to the true Christ. And historically, we set around days of remembrance. For me, all days are the same, but it's not wrong to have a day, one particular day of remembrance. For me, every day is Christmas, and every day is Easter. The death and the resurrection of the birth and the resurrection, the birth, death, and resurrection of Jesus are absolutely important for me every day of the year. So, but there is a day. I love Christmas because the scripture says that God delights to give good gifts to His children, and He gave the greatest gift of His Son to die on a cross on Christmas morning. And man, I love to give gifts to my kids and point them to the great gift giver that God is, and just as a reflection of His character and grace, even when my kids don't even deserve it, right? So, my kids often do things that wouldn't deserve those gifts, but we give them anyway because we delight in loving our kids well, in spite of their wickedness or their sinfulness or their failures, and because that's the character of love, right? But God's love is amazing. Christmas is a human-made day, absolutely. As far as God commanding it, but to be remembered, no, He didn't set that day. But it's not wrong to set aside a day if you want to set aside a day of celebration and worship and of God in a way that is glorifying to Him. It's not wrong at all. So I really appreciate your good questions. I hope everybody watching the recording later finds some benefit in those answers, and do know that I am a believer in Christ. I do try to glorify God in all that I do, and at the end of the day, Jesus is the greatest expression of God's glory. So, I just wouldn't call it innovation. I would just call it, worship in man's way. Man does not. If man wants to worship God in a particular way, that's not outside of God's boundaries, then do it. Do it to His glory. Skip the Santa Claus stuff. To exchange God and Jesus for Santa Claus is a problem for sure. All right, man. Hey, man, I wish we could have a conversation one-on-one, man. I think we'd have coffee and a great conversation. Nothing is, Christmas is not in Christianity. So understand that. Christmas is a day set aside by Christians to worship in a particular way. But it's not made up in Christianity. Christianity is a history of Christ, and that God sent His Son from a plan from the beginning. He sent His Son. It's an insult. Interesting. All right. Well, again, most people came here to. I'm always glad to share Christ and Him crucified, and why people do certain things. And appreciate your question. I've got more answers for you, and I could probably have a good conversation with you. But let's leave it at that. And thanks for the good questions. And if it makes you feel better to let you have the last word, I'd be glad to let you have the last word. Don't think it's insulting at all. But hey, guys, the rest of you that came in on that, glad you're here. Let's jump in, guys. The Redskins are playing tonight. The Commanders are playing tonight. The Giants at 8:20 p.m. and I'd like to be there to watch it, so I decided to do Sunday night charts a little early. So, Chris, a lot of Pagan. I don't know that story, but a lot of Pagan. A lot of pagan worship is rooted in some semblance of truth, some remnant of truth. There's a flood story in every culture, which a worldwide flood story or some kind of a flood story in all cultures around the world. Some say, hey, you see, so it's made up. No, that's actually a reminiscence of a reality that actually happened. And so we believe the biblical account is true, that there was a worldwide flood. But anyway, but so yeah, just because you had similarities in stories, that doesn't negate. Well, I don't know who Horus is, so but anyway. But my point is that just as there's similarity in stories, it doesn't mean necessarily that the Christian account or the biblical account is inaccurate. So, all right, guys, you got me off on things I'd rather talk about, to be honest with you, than money and markets and whatnot. So, let's look at what's happened, because we just got a final spike. I say a final spike, a spike I was looking for. Actually, yeah, that looks pretty decent as a possible final spike here. This could be a three-wave move right here. Looking at the markets here, market structure as an Elliott wave trader, we look for 5s and 3s, and I think that's a leading diagonal right there. I think that's a good potential leading diag. And then we had a three-wave pullback after that right here. A three-wave pullback looks pretty good. And then we had what would seem to me possibly an ending diagonal, which now what's interesting is leading diags and ending diags can look the same, can look very similar, or they can look a little different. You can have in a leading diagonal, you can have a 5 3 5 3 5, or an ending diagonal, you can have 3 3 3 3 3. In a leading diag, you can also have 3 3 3 3 3. So in other words, the leader allows for 5 waves in the beginning. Well, both of these have 3 waves in every one. So we got a 3 there, a 3 there, a 3 there, a 3 there, and a 3 there. We had a 3-wave pullback, broke structure, and then we have a 3 and a 3 and a 3, 3 and 3. So it kind of looks like you've got a potential for a zigzag right there, basically, as a corrective wave. And that may mean, it depends on what the market's doing, but that may mean ABC. Let's pull the fibs on that guy. Okay. Boom, right there. It barely got to the 786. It barely got there. So that would be the bearish count right there for you. That you'd have an ABC that's finishing up if it's not finished already. It's about finished. And it's going to go down for another low. We're getting ready to go down for another move to the downside. That this was a three-way pullback, and that we're getting ready to get another move to the downside. Okay. Zooming out here, looking at this structure. Okay. It's a fairly impulsive move, but to be honest with you, it's not clear that it's an impulse wave off the top. It's not clear. One of the things we did last night in our Discord live stream is that we just talked about, you know, when waves aren't clear, okay, when waves aren't clear, what is best? How do you handle it? What do you do, right? And so when waves aren't clear like this, is it 5 waves or is it 3 waves? The first question I ask of any wave is it 5 or 3? And the answer is not always clear to that. Okay, but if it's 3, then the second question is, okay, then if it's 3, what structure is that fitting in a larger time frame? What's the context that 3 fits in? And what would I expect to happen next would be the third question. Okay, if it's 5, I would say, okay, what structure would that 5 be part of? And then, you know, what would I expect to happen after that? So anyway, with that said, we're looking at, that's a possible 3 right there. It's not pretty. It's a really junky B wave, but that could be an A, B, and a C right there, and it could be a 3-way pullback. Now, I'm not convinced of that. In fact, I'm kind of more convinced that it's not finished, that we've probably got some more downside to go tonight. The hidden bearish divergence on the chart is pretty strong, and we've gotten a fairly decent rejection here. In fact, we've got a really pretty strong rejection going on right now, just looking at it here. Yeah, we got a pretty strong rejection happening right now. So I don't know if that's going to mean it's going to go hit the low again or not. I got alerts going off all over the place. Get a screen up here. There we go. So yeah, you know, this resembles a continuation move to the downside. That this is probably going to keep rocking, much like this one right here. We had a 3-wave move, and then we had a continuation move. Now, will this go as deeply? Who's to say? On a Sunday night, I mean, maybe, but we may just come down and hit the low. We got some support down here. Of course, you know, that support is deep, so I mean, we could come fairly deep. This is a possibility. That's the bearish look right there, guys. That this is some kind of a wave 4 in a 5-wave move. It doesn't even have to be a wave 4. It could be just some intermediate wave of a much larger and faster impulse wave to the downside. The hidden bearish divergence on the chart is fairly strong on the 15-minute, though it weakened on this last move to the upside. It did weaken there on this move to the last side, but the hidden bear was present there. Hidden bear on the 1 hour. It's there, but the price is in no man's land, which I don't like. So I'm not convinced of a move to the downside with that move there. I'm not convinced that it has to go down, but certainly that rejection was fairly strong. Now that might be designed that way, so we'll have to look at it in just a minute. But 30-minute chart. The hidden bear was strong. We had a move down, and then we had another move up. I'm not convinced that the hidden bear I'm seeing on the chart is gonna last. In other words, this might be a fake signal. We'll have to see what the chart's doing, but without worrying about fakes, that's generally pointing to the hidden bear that we see. It was best at the last night, I should say, or yeah, it was at the peak last night before the 3-way pullback today. That hidden bearish divergence was much more seen, but as this came down, it came down creating some hidden bullish divergence, which brought this thing back up for another move. Now we're, so it's unclear whether we have any real hidden bearish divergence now playing a part. They may have taken it out with that move to the upside. This thrust to the downside came after a 5-wave move. So What we could have is either a three-wave move, which is I think what they want us to believe. So it's often I'll think backwards psychology here, but I think what they want us to believe is the three-wave move, and now we're coming down. I think that's the simple way to interpret that we got three waves, and now we're coming down for the next wave. Okay. However, we have a construction. Okay, we have a construction called a 1-2-1-2. Okay. Now 1-2-1-2 is very, very bullish, which we won't know until this low is broken, where we have a leading diagonal wave 1 with a 2. Okay. Now this is another 1, and this is wave 2 of the next degree. So we're going to put 3, 4, 5 up here. Let me move this up just a little bit like that. 4 and 5 up like so. Where this construction here is another leading diagonal. Okay, it's another leader, but it's going to be wave 2 right there. And what we're getting is another three-wave pullback. Instead of going down as an impulse wave, which it could. So that's count number 1, where we can just go down as an impulse wave right now and hit another low. Okay, but this could be making a three-wave move that wants to continue up tonight. And then we count that as a wave 1 and a wave 2. And this 1-2 is a 1-2 of a smaller degree. It's the subwave of the third wave. That would be, so we'd be looking for 3, 4, and 5 of the third. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the subwaves of the third wave. And that's the bullish look at this scenario. That if for some reason this was a three-wave move, okay, then we could be seeing a reversal here, a potential reversal. Or we could be seeing another three-wave move where the first 1-2 was not a 1-2 at all, but it was an A and a B wave. And now we're getting a five-wave move in C. That's bringing us back up to retest this. So this could be 3 or 5, and you could still get that wave to the upside. Okay? Now, what would that do? Well, that would if that's 3 waves to the upside, then you would expect, and you got to track with me here, but you would expect a 3-wave move to the downside. If this was 3, if it started with 5, you'd look for 5 waves to the downside, and that would be an A, B, and a C. Okay? Then you'd have to step back and say, okay, what would that A, B, C be doing? Okay, what would that A, B, C do in this? Well, it could be boom, boom. Instead of, if it's 5, this could be a 1, 2. And then we get 3, 4, 5. And we finish. We finish and hit our 12K target. And we finish this structure right here, which is a big WXY. We got a W to there, X to there, Y to there. It's a double zigzag, basically, is what it is. Okay? So you'd have a boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. There's 3, and then boom, boom, and then boom. And we're in the process of making this wave. Now, who knows what shape that wave will be? It may not give us a beautiful 1, 2 like that. In fact, I've drawn it probably much too big. But we could quite possibly get a retest of the area back up into this region very, very quickly and powerfully tonight. And it could be just 3 waves, okay? And then we'd look for a move down very fast and furious to finish 5 waves. Now, it could be truncated or it could be long and extended. We can look at some targets. In fact, let's look at some targets if that plays out, okay? First of all, we'll pull the fibs on the WXY. We'll call this W. We'll call that X. We'll call this Y. The 1-to-1 extension is sitting right there at 14,342. The 127 extension, if it wants to get a little more extended, at 12,300. Those are the 2 areas I would really be watching as we have support. We have structural support in the wave over here in that zone right there, from the top of this wave at 14K to the top of, I would say, these waves. Let's say the top of these waves right here. Bottom of that wave. Yeah, that's deep. I guess if it wanted to go down to the 1618 and hit 10K, it could do that. But that would be a little deep for me. I'm really looking at 12.3 as a nice target if we decide to come down here fast and furious now. I have a feeling, guys, that we're not going to come down there fast and furious, but it's just a feeling. I don't know anything. Just sharing a thought that I think the world is bearish right now, so bearish that it would expect a very fast move, and that would be too simple of a move, I imagine. But it could totally just come on down. It looks ready. This looks like a three-wave move right there. It looks very three-wave-ish. So there's a possibility for you there that this could come down and we could hit this zone. Let me also pull the fibs, because what this would be, that WXY would be part of a larger flat that I've been talking about for a while. And the 1618 retrace is sitting at 12,750. In other words, we expect flats. This is an expanded flat where you have three waves to the upside. This would be three waves to the downside. They often come down to a 1618 retrace. Okay, now we've already hit the 1236 area, which is an area that is the area expanded flats love, is the 1236 and the 127 extensions. Okay, the market loves that zone. Okay, for expanded flats, and so we might have already bottomed here, but it could continue on down, and I have a count for if we've bottomed here. I have a count for it, and we're going to look at it in just a moment. Okay, but if this decides to come down, this would be the count. All right, and then we would look to go back to the upside in a five-wave fashion. It would be fast and furious. It would be a quick wave. It wouldn't be simple. I mean, it would be relatively simple, but it would feel fast. Over a period of 3 months, it would just kind of keep pumping over a period of several months there until it gets back up here to the 40K range, 43K. I like the 43K target up there pretty well. Okay, so there's a count for you, and that's the bearish look at what we have going on right now. Okay, the bearish look that says, hey, this is a corrective wave. This is part of a five-wave move. Okay, this is part of a larger impulse wave. Okay, where who knows exactly how to count this, but this is just a pullback, and it could just keep on going straight down. This could be part of a much larger ABC here that gets us back up to this range, the top of the box, so to speak, top of this liquidity zone right there, around 17,400, where we would reject off of that and keep coming down to the downside. Okay, for the next wave, and this would be a big wave. This would be fast and furious, and that would take us to the 12K range potentially. And that's a possible interpretation of these waves. That's an interpretation of these waves. So there's one idea. Okay, so part of the hard thing about where we are in the chart, there's a lot of little ideas here that could play, and it's hard to tell on the small time frame how this is going to play out. You're just going to have a strategy for tracking it and a strategy for trading it. Okay, so it's hard to tell. But this right here, this candle right here, was a pretty strong candle. Okay, it was strong and it was powerful, and it was deceptive in a lot of ways. Okay, we have a liquidity box right here where we had the top of hit. Okay, and this came back, retested the top of that box. In fact, I got to draw a little bit better right there. Hit. This was a fake out to the upside, fake out to the downside, and then we're playing in this liquidity zone here. We broke out to the upside. We came down, found some support, had only a three-way pullback, and then boom! I mean, they hit it hard and furious, and that was a tough candle for anybody expecting more up, like I was kind of thinking that potentially. So the fact that we came down and they took liquidity at the bottom of this box. Now the question is, are they coming back into the box? Right now they did, and then they bounced right back. They rejected out of it. So again, you're finding finding support here as a retesting the breakout of the box here, this liquidity zone. You're finding resistance or support from well, it's resistance really, and this could mean another rejection to the downside for another wave. Okay, another 5-wave move. The next area of importance. Okay, we have a larger box over here. Okay, and the next area of importance would be the bottom of that wave right there, right around 16K. Right around here, and then another area obviously down here at 15,500. Those are the next couple of areas of interest as price comes down again. Now, who knows exactly how it will come down or how it will go up and what wave structure it will go up, but we'll simply look for the 5s and the 3s. So there is an argument here that says, hey, this is a 3-wave move, it's done, and now we go. I'm not convinced of that, to be honest with you. I feel like we need some more upside. I don't know that we're going to get so much upside here that we're going to go up and make new highs, though it's possible. I kind of feel like this could be indeed an A, a B, and I'm looking for C to get up here. Okay, let's pull the fibs on that guy and see if that's a plausible area to look for. That would be a 2618 extension. I'm not sure if we're going to reach that or not, but the market can do whatever it wants to. 17,375 is the area of interest there at the 2618 extension. Now, how would we get up there? Well, let's zoom in just a little bit to that C wave. In a C wave, when we start with 5, we need to end with 5. And so we'd look for basically a 5-wave move to the upside, a 3-wave back, 1, 2. We'd look for 3, 4, and 5. We could get a structure like that, and this could go up fast and furious. When I say fast and furious, I just mean it gets clipping in a pretty quick motion there. So we could get a zigzag like that, where you get an extended C wave to the 2618, which we see them, they happen. Okay, it would feel pretty bullish because it would look like an impulse wave. But it would just ultimately be 3 waves. Okay, at the end of that move, we would come back into this liquidity zone where they stop some people out, break out of the box a little bit, and then it could possibly just go down for the next leg. I can see that as a fake out and a way that the market could take liquidity. Okay, so that's a possibility. All right, now are you guys tracking with me? You doing okay? I'm ignoring the chat. So anyway, just sharing ideas here. Just checking the chat here. Okay, I'm just checking what you guys are saying here. All right, so does it have to go up like I've drawn? No, it doesn't have to. It already has. You have a potential ABC right here that's come to the 786. This could be a finished move right as we speak, right there. This could be A, B, C, and that's all we get. That's all we get. And then we get a rejection here, and we come down there. So be aware. Be aware. But be aware that there's another setup there as well, that either one works, either one could play. We have to be diligent about which one is playing. Now, what did we get off the top of there on the small time frame here? What did we get off of there? I mean, guys, we got what looks like a 3-wave move to me, guys. We got a boom, 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 right there. Okay, if this comes back and takes out this level right here, okay, I think that's going to confirm this as 3 waves. It came down fast, but it's a 3-wave move. Okay, all it is. And that means we could be ready to go up more bullishly. We could be ready to go up again for that next wave. Now, what would we get? We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a pullback, right? And then a continuation. So, something like that. I can draw it faster than the market can move it, can't I? And that's often frustrating. But that looks like a 3-wave move to the downside there. So that's interesting right there. It could be just a fake what do we call it? A fake rejection there. Yeah, it's very nicely a 3-wave move. Boom, boom, boom. I don't see it as 5 waves, but time is going to tell. This could get more complex as a 3-wave move. In other words, we could get, this is 3 here. I know I'm all over the place, guys, but I'm on different time frames. 3, we could get 3 here, and then another 3 down. We could get another 3 down to the downside. So there's 3, 3, and then 3. Okay, and then another move to the upside. That would be fine, and that would be part of that 1-2-1-2 I was just sharing with you, and a larger, just another pullback in that. It's another 1-2 in that scenario. Okay, in other words, you've got 1, 2, another 1, and then this gets complex, 2, and then we go. Okay, and we get 3, 4, and 5. Looking for this 17,100, 17. That's the 1618. That's possible. But if we could get up here to the 2618 area, which is 17,374. Now, if it goes up here, that's definitely a lot more extended. We would have to pay attention to what type of wave, how big the wave is, and what it looks like. I didn't mean to delete the fibs, but we'd have to look at what the wave looks like to say, okay, does that look like 3 waves, or is that going to continue going up to the upside in an impulse wave? Okay, we'd probably look for, in that case, does this come back in 3 and then continue on for a 5th wave? Now, if that's the case, what would that be? I've got so many things to share with you guys, and I don't want to overload you with so much, but there's so much to talk about tonight. We're just going to have to go through each of the scenarios, and I'm not just drawing stuff here. The markets could literally go up or down, and it would be all right from an Elliott wave count. And when the markets do that, and it's not clear, that they're really setting it up for liquidity grabs for sure. And it's just kind of a scary time to be trading in some respects, but as long as we manage our risk properly and our entries and exits properly, then we should be okay. Okay, now, so the bearish look says this is either going to fall over now, finish this as a 5-wave move, pull back, and then we're going to go down eventually, somehow, some way, 5 waves down to the 12K range. Okay, and we know it's going to go down in waves. That means we're going to have dump and then pullback. We're going to have dump and pullback, right? It's not going to go straight down, generally speaking, though it can. It totally can surprise you with the way waves go down. So that's the first idea. That's the bearish idea, okay? Now, another bearish idea that has us going up temporarily first, okay? So in other words, a bearish idea that fits this same count here, all right, has us coming out and taking this top out first. Oh, excuse me. And then coming down fast. Okay, now that's something that could totally happen here, and I would guess that it is potential. Not a good time to do the dishes. I know you want to do them, and I never want to be upset that you're doing dishes. I love that you're doing dishes, but I'm on YouTube. This is a little different than my regular Discord lives.
Okay, can I finish? I'm almost done.
Okay, if you're almost done, just try not to make so much noise, honey. Hey, dishes are being done in the back by kids. That's always a good sign. Never want to say that's a bad thing. All right, but if you'll just have to listen through it, guys, if you can. Welcome to my home on a Sunday. That's why I usually do Sunday night charts late. Kids go to bed, and we can be quieter. All right, because where was I saying? Okay, so we could get a 5-wave move to the upside, and what we would be looking at is that this would be actually 3 back, 5 up. So we'd be looking for 5 waves to the upside from here as part of a 5, 3, 5 right there. This being some kind of ending triangle right there with the final wave here for this wave. So this wave ended right here. So this wouldn't be an AB, though it really looks like an AB. And it could be an A, B, and other counts, but this is another count where we're going to call this some kind of a convoluted triangle, a truncated finishing wave for this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then we're looking for a 5, expanded flat B wave, 3, and then 5 waves to the upside. Stop hunting all this liquidity, and then coming down, stop hunting all this liquidity, hitting our 12K zone again. That is very plausible as well. Wouldn't that be just the way the market makers would love to do it? Another hit to the high, take out this high, and then down we go. Okay, I think I'm a fan of that count. I don't know that that's going to play, but I'm a fan of that count. This wave has got a lot of people messed up. Now, could we get a hit to the low first right here on the small time frame? As long as we don't start going up really fast, yes. So if we come down from where we are, hit the low, okay, stop hunt this low, and then start going up for 5 waves, I would see that as a move that could play. That would finish this wave out, okay, or seem to finish it out, and then give us a 5-wave move to the upside fast and furious. Stop hunting the high, okay, and then we would end up coming down fast and furious to our level. And what that would be is an A down to here, a B back to the golden zone, 618 retrace or so, and then a C wave down to our final. And that would be that ABC right there would be the Y wave of a WXY construction. Okay, so that's a real possible scenario, real plausible scenario for what could be taking place in the market right now. I know everybody feels like and this is where I'm a little cautious right here, because this move feels like we're bearish as crap. We're going down to 7K, 5K, whatever. We're going down really fast, and here we go. And I know everybody feels that way right now. In fact, I have that feeling, and I watch out for those emotions to make sure, because the market always comes back. It always comes back on you, and it never makes it easy. Often the market will go where you expect it to go. It just doesn't go there in a way that you expect it. So to have this expanded flat here, 3, 3, 5 right there, that's a really trashy expanded flat right in there, but it makes sense of this really difficult wave right there. That wave seems out of place, and it seems like it shouldn't be there, and it was like, man, and they made an expanded flat on us right here, and this came down really deep. They didn't make it a running flat, they made it an expanding flat, and so they stop hunted the low. And they could take it right on up, hit the high one more time before they take it down. I'm actually on guard for that move, with the possibility that the move that we're getting right now is just the beginning of that wave, and we might have a pumpy pump tonight and tomorrow. Now, is that definitely going to play? I don't know, but that's my hunch, whether I'm right or not. You guys have hunches. What's your hunch? What do you think? Do you like the bearish look where we just roll over and come down right away? Is that too obvious? Is that too obvious of a move? I think it might be. I think they're giving it their best right now to make it look like that's the move. But that might be too obvious. But it might, in fact, just do that. They could roll it over and come down, or they could come up and take out this liquidity first and then come down. And so you got to watch out for those scenarios. Those are my main 2 ideas there. And I guess the final idea here is that this could come up in 3 waves. That is a little bit more articulable. Whereas we might already have AB in the works right here, AB, and then we roll over for C. Or we might even get something really complex here, 3 waves up and then come down. There's so many little things on the smaller time frame, ways that this wave could act if it was coming down. It doesn't have to come down right away. It could finish a 3-wave move that's much higher. But it could roll over from where we are. It could totally do that. So the question is, what is it going to do? I don't have the answer to that question. I'm just trying to be ready for all of them. A lot of people say, well, Jim, you're just drawing a bunch of lines on the chart. What kind of TA is that? Well, what we do as Elliott traders is we look at the wave structure, and sometimes the wave structure is very clear as to what the market makers look like they're doing. And this wave structure isn't horribly unclear, but there's several pieces of it that are unclear. This is unclear as to what this is, and this right here is unclear as to what that is. I have some more counts to share with you, but I'm trying to get my favorite ideas out first before I go, and then I'll look at some other stuff. But what we try to do is look at the wave structure, take our Elliott wave rules and apply it to the chart, and see if we see, based on what we look at, what we're looking at, what would we expect? What would we expect price to do if we're correct in that scenario? And then we look to see if price is doing that. We look for where would the best entry of a trade be if we were trading that wave, and then we enter that trade maybe long right here where the stop is close, right? So maybe some of you are long in here on that three-way pullback we got earlier in the day, and so that was a great entry. I told my elite group about it, that we got a three-way pullback. It looks like we're ready to rock, and it's a potential move to the upside now, right? Or so that's a low risk area to enter along, because if it comes back to us, we could stop at break even or underneath here if we want to, right? We could. There's all kinds of things we can do there. But we can take trades based on these ideas. Now, those ideas may get invalidated at the end of the day, and they may get stop hunted or whatever. But we can at least take low-risk trades within the wave, waiting for key times and scenarios to take those trades. So, yeah, so we don't know what's going to happen. We just try to get ready for the future and then plan our reactions around what we plan trades and plan reactions based on what we see. We try to get ready for what we see, what we could see. Now, I'm very fast at it. I don't need somebody to show me a chart or what could happen, but some of you still are learning Elliott wave, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going very quickly through the possibilities because I'm trying to get a lot of information out quickly. And I know it could be confusing. That's why you need to go through my course. I've got a free one on my channel. It's called Trading Night School with Jim of All Trades, or you can. And that's a free course that you can go through, or you can come in my Discord and go through my newer course that's more up to date, and I got a lot more information offered there as well. And you can just come on in and learn Elliott there. And so as you begin Elliott, you begin to see the possibilities for where the wave could go on your own, and you start growing as a trader. I realize I am ignoring a lot of you. Indeed, I am sorry, but I want to keep getting this information out to you. Okay, now let's talk about a bullish count here. Let's talk about a very bullish count here. So this count right here, we've gone through the scenarios where we say, hey, we're not done. We're not done to the downside, and we need to get down here to these levels before we go up with a wave. So we have an expanded flat that isn't finished. This three-wave move isn't finished, and we are going to have a pump, but it's going to be a pump later once we hit these lower target zones, okay? And I've talked about the different ideas about how we come down here already. So that's where we are. I've talked about how we go down. We could come up here and go down. We could roll over and continue down, okay? We could come up and stop hunt the high and then come down. Those are the different ways on the smaller time frame that we could go down, and we talked about the different wave structures there. But those are the three counts that take us down to this level. All right, now what else could be at play here, okay? What else could be happening? Well, we might already have a finished Y wave, that I bring the Y here and it's done. Okay, now I have to alter my count slightly, okay, but I'm going to put my count right here. Okay, I'm going to put the X wave right here, and this is going to be my Y wave. Okay, that's my WXY there, and that's a finished count. That again, we look at this as a convoluted triangle. Okay, I'm not happy with that, but it could be a possible way of interpreting it. Thanks to Seth, who's here tonight in our stream, he had that idea. I was like, that's a possible idea, even though I'm not a big fan of it in some ways. Not because Seth offered it, but because it just looks weird. But nevertheless, it could be, and this could be the end of the wave that happened right there. Okay, we do have divergence between these waves right there. So that's a good sign that that's a potential end of a wave. That could be the end of the Y. Now, what would that be? What would this be then if this is a bullish and we're getting ready? So we're actually, the B wave is finished and we're actually really bullish right now, okay? And we're actually bullish. What could be the count? Well, we're going to look at this first wave again as a potential. Man, there's a couple of ways here. I'm not happy. There's a lot not to like about what I'm going to share with you, but so I kind of like the bearish idea that I just shared with you first. Okay, so let me say that on the outset, but that doesn't mean that this is wrong. Okay, we could have some kind of a leading diag here. I'm not a fan of that count. I'm not a fan of that being a leading diag, but it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This could be a flat wave 2. I'm not a fan of this. That could be done or not. It may need a little bit lower to come one more wave down. You know, who knows if C is finished or not, but this could be part of a C wave, A, B, C here. And that could be possibly a 1, 2. In this count, we go up very bullishly. That doesn't mean we go straight up. We still go up in waves, right? So we'll go up, pull back, and continuation, right? So we'll go up, take out the high, come down fast, maybe in 3 waves, and then maybe go up again. You know, and then that would be another 1, 2 for a much larger move to the upside. Totally possible. And we'd be looking for movements up to here, up to 30 and 40K. That's the bullish count. That this is actually bullish setup. That this was a fake out to the downside, making everybody really bearish. Going to screw some traders up, and then boom, they're going to take it up again. And it's going to be a wave structure that was challenging and hard for the bulls. That would make the bears think. Make the bulls think bearishly. Because everybody was bullish in here until this wave. And now everybody's bearish again. Now this wave looks very bearish. You got people selling, people looking to sell. And now the makers have people selling to their buys. And they're buying again. Okay, they're buying again. So they're buying down here. And they were buying. They're buying on this pullback. They're buying all down here before a big move to the upside. And this is just a big accumulation zone. Okay, so that's a possibility. Okay, that this was a stop hunt of liquidity to the downside. They stop hunted liquidity. They have come back. They're threatening to come back into the box of liquidity here. Okay, they bounced off of it, rejected. Now if they come back into it. Okay, we could be going and heading up much higher. I know that's a convoluted, picture there. Sorry about that, but you get the idea. So that's the bullish look at this thing. Okay, that's the bullish look. That we got a 1, 2 on our hands, and we're getting ready to start making our way to the upside. Now, could we come down, stop hunt the low, and come down deeper? Absolutely, we could. Pull the retrace. We could get down to the 618 retrace of this thing, which is down here at 16,186. Looks like the market is completely stalled on us right now. Are they waiting for my live stream to be over to decide what to do? Man, if Jim gets it right, we got to change our plan. That's stupid, isn't it? That's really stupid. Yeah. So they didn't take out that level yet. Sorry, I'm just looking on the small time frame on a different chart here. So, all right. So that's the bullish look, but we could come down, stop hunt the low before we start making it. This may not be the wave to the upside that we're looking for. We might come down first and then go up. In all of my counts, we could come down, stop hunt the low, and then go up. We could come down, stop hunt the low, go up in 3 waves, and then reverse, right, and come down. So there's so many little variables of the small time frame waves that I just can't go through all the options. I'm just talking in general directions here. We're about ready to go up to the upside. Maybe if we get down here to the 618, we don't have to. In fact, this might be a front run of that, and then we just keep rocking. We did hit the 1618 extension of this wave. This is a nice place for this thing to turn around and go. All right. Now again, that may be that 3-wave move may just be part of it. There's 5, 3, and then we get 5 here, and then we come down. So that's where the big bullish count overlaps. Okay, overlaps the deeper count there. Okay. All right. What are you guys saying in the chat? Anything? Anything? Seth said the right kind of ugly. Moon Bear. There we go. Let's see here. Going back way. I got to go back. Let me just read the comments here. 2-day order block at 17.2. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Beautiful. 18.774. Let's see. I got a question. If the wave started from 18,396, which was the top of this last little run, if the wave started from 18 is a 5-wave, can it be the end of something? Yeah, it could be the C wave of an expanded flat. Hopefully, I've already answered that. Ahmet. Well, John, I'm glad you're liking the stream a little earlier. This time is harder for my family. Usually, it's spending time with the family during this time, or sleeping or something. ETH certainly chemo looks better, which we haven't looked at yet, but it looks better as an expanded flat. Hey, Walter. Yeah, that's kind of a trademark of my lives. I just keep it real best I can. Thank you for that. I'm glad you're okay with it. It makes me happy. Jonathan Gandy, it's kind of like that, really. The wave could, from a structure standpoint, I could interpret these waves to the downside or to the upside. So I've given you things to be watching for, and as Elliott wave traders, there will be invalidations to those things as we pay attention to in our Discord, as they develop. So we do wave analysis, and we get ready for the waves every day, twice a day, except on the weekends. We do it a little less on Saturday and Friday night. I do wave updates, just little quick wave updates with either charts or little quick videos. But through the week, we do a morning stream and an evening stream. The morning stream's usually longer, over an hour, and the evening stream's usually about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and we just do updates on the waves. So yeah, and if you guys need help monitoring this wave as it develops to know where it could go from a day-to-day basis, that's really what I offer on my Discord. Not only is it a learning environment to learn Elliott, but it's also a place where you can get just up to the minute and up to the day analysis on the wave, so you're ready for which direction. Right now we see all these options, but some of those options are going to get narrowed down. We're going to be able to say, hey, I don't like this option anymore because of what this wave did, and it's going to rule out some of the options there. So yeah, it is up or down. There are a lot of options here, and it's hard to know. We're in kind of that area on the chart where they could take it up or down. Okay. Yeah, I would say hasta la vista, Barbie. I think that's exactly what it looks like. Exactly what it looks like. And, the market often gives us a look on the chart and then does something different. So always be careful with that. But, yeah, absolutely. Looks like we have a possible finish to fourth wave of some kind. And then we're going to get a stop hunt at the low for a fifth wave, get that divergence we'd like to see for an impulse wave, and then we'll go up for a corrective wave of some kind. So, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it looks like.
It's hard to know. It's really hard to know whether it's 3 or 5. Anti-BK says, I see clear 3x of 3 of 5 waves up from these past few weeks. We have no idea what this about this drop. What is this dropping wave? Looks like no real retraces. Not yet. No real retraces yet. It might be coming tonight for sure. Yes, it could be a huge wave 1 to the downside. Absolutely. Or the 1-2 is already put in and we're in the middle of wave 3. The 1-2 is in the wick up there at the top. If you look on the 5-second chart, you'll see a 1-2 up there at the top in the wick. So, did the CME open, Seth? Did it gap to 16.4? Is that what you mean? Yeah, we'll get to the SPX in just a minute, Jonathan, for sure. All right, good. Let's see, I skipped Hades 25. Sorry. What if it's a 1-2 instead of an AB? Yeah, absolutely. From November 1, absolutely. From November 1. It can't. From November. Hades 25. From November 21st. Sorry. Yes. Could be a 1-2, or an AB. Let's see. What did you say? Yeah, it could be an AB or a 1-2. Absolutely. Yeah, leading diag, expanded flat. Perfect. Yeah, 1-2 or AB. Yep. Either one. And I just gave the big bullish scenario for that. That it could be big time move up to 40K. If that's an AB, if that's a 1-2. We might be looking for another 1-2, but yeah. Okay, guys, great conversation. So I've offered 2 counts. One count, both counts are looking at this as an expanded flat. One count says, "Hey, we're not done, and we need to go down and finish the expanded flat down here somewhere." Another count says, "Hey, we already finished the expanded flat. I mean, the B wave of the expanded flat." I'm sorry, let me go back. One count says we have a WXY here that we need to come down here and finish the Y wave of the B for an expanded flat. Okay, and then the other count says, "Dude, we're already finished with that B wave, and we are making our way up to the to this next wave. That we're in the middle of a 2 wave, or we are done with the 2 wave, and now we're getting ready to move on up to wave 3 here very soon, and we might get a pre-Christmas pump here this week." So that's kind of where we are in the chart. Let's do some work on the other charts here, guys. Let's look at Ethereum, because Ethereum is pretty interesting here on, let's see. Excuse me. Let's look at the higher time frames there on Ethereum. Show you what I'm looking at there. All right, here's what I'm looking at for Ethereum. Either this is a finished A, B, and a C right there, right down to here. Same thing. Okay, really messed up triangle right in there with a spike to the low. This was it. That was the ABC. It's kind of truncated and crappy looking. Could be done, and we're gonna finish that thing and go on up now. And that what we've got is a one wave right to come on. A 1 wave right to here, and then we got an expanded flat, which looks very promising, very powerful, very promising, right to there as a 2 wave, and we could be ready to go 3, 4, 5 out of this. In other words, this could be a big ABC or a big 1, 2, and now we're getting ready to go up for wave 3, and that we're gonna moonshot from here, or some we either get a C wave. I always look for the C wave first, but this could keep on rocking to the upside, and that's a big 1-2 on the chart. That we've broken the structure on the daily chart. We broke this structure here. Okay, we pulled back. Providing, is not really a whole lot of hidden bull divergence there anymore. Let's see on the 2-day. Yeah, we're not really looking great there for the hidden bull divergence. All right, so that's a possibility that this is finished right here. It's done. Now the other possibility here is that we do the exact same thing we do with BTC, that we come down for a final wave, that we got 3 there, and now we're looking for 3 here. Okay, and then that we come down here, and then we make this is an expanded flat before we come down and do another WXY, and which takes another 1.5 to 2 years to play out. That secondary WXY kind of flattens out a little bit, takes a lot of time before we have another moonshot in 2025 time frame, 2024, 2025 time frame. So, we might be in some kind of an X wave here where it's an expanded flat here, and then we come down and we start the bear market again, and we get really bearish, okay? So we have some kind of a 3-month pump, 6-month pump, boom, and then we come down for another 3 waves, come back down to almost rock bottom prices before we have a moonshot, and that's when crypto really begins taking off in 2025 time frame. Maybe we have some regulation coming in by that time. Maybe the New World Order has reset the economy by that time. Maybe who knows what's going to happen in order to bring this to fruition. But that's certainly on the table. Okay. Let's take a peek here. Small time frame. Interesting wave structure there. Okay, so that looks good. Let me show you something in ETH here that I think I took it off the screen. There it is. There we go. All right, let me go back to my original chart. Come on, where are you? All right, so let's look at this wave right here. This is Ethereum. Let's look at this. And I want to look at this right here as a fractal, potentially. Okay? We have a fractal potentially playing out right here, where we have an up move right here, and then we have this expanded flat right here in the middle. And I submit to you that that's a potential fractal of what we've got going on right here, an expanded flat, where you have 3 waves to the downside, 3 waves to the upside, and then 5 to take out the low. And it could be about finished. Now, it may not be done. It may have to come down, hit the low, and then bounce back up. That's a possibility. It's always a possibility to get those stop hunts. Nonetheless, I'm kind of seeing those waves similarly, okay? So, looking at this right here, let's see, as a flat right in there, okay? So then that put us here at some kind of a B, and a C wave, some kind of 3-wave move right there. Whereas here's another situation where you got an A, B, C, right? And then we're going to call this wave, come on, A, B, and then we go up for C, okay? It's a potential. Basically what that would do is go up in 5. It would stop hunt the high, okay? We would probably not go up to the top of the channel. If that's the case, we'd be looking for something somewhat parallel right in here. And then we'd be looking for a fast and furious wave to the downside. And that's going to finish out a W, X, and a Y wave. And that would correlate with Bitcoin stop hunting the high and then coming down as well. So guys, that's a plausible count for me. I really like it looking at Ethereum. Looking at the hidden bullish divergence you see here on the 4-hour chart, that's pretty powerful. You come down here to this peak here. Now, it's still going up there, but look at this. So we got this going up, and this straight across. That's exaggerated bullish. Did I say hidden bear? I'm not sure why I said that, but that's hidden bull. So looking at that hidden bullish divergence or exaggerated bullish divergence, that's looking fairly like a move that could definitely play there. You say, Jim, how could you call this a 3-wave move right here? That's a good question. That's basically my candy cane with a spike with an extended 5th wave. Basically, this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. The 1, 2 is in the wick down here. So that's the way I would count that. In that count, I would have to say that this was some kind of a convoluted triangle, which I'm not a big fan of. And then this is the end of it. So, there's a lot not to like about that, and the reason is because of this wave right here. It's hard to tell what that exactly is. What you want to do is call this a three-wave move. You want to call it, and that it's finished right now and coming down. That's what you want to call it. And it totally could be that. This could just be a finished three-wave move, and now we're coming down. That this is going to roll over and come down to the next level. Hard to say, guys. It's really, really hard to say what's going to play and how it's going to play out. But time will tell. Just giving you some ideas here. But I really like this as an expanded flat. It really gives the sense of 3 down, 3 up, and then 5 down. That could be done already. And now we're getting ready to, hopefully in the next couple of hours on the daily close, we get some kind of big, fast move to the upside on the daily. That begins and starts trucking between in the Asian session. We get Asia buying, and then and then we start moving. We start moving during London. Excuse me, and this may take all week for this to play out, all the way to Christmas time or something to finish. This may go up slow and steady and take a long time to get up there. So it may take the rest of the week to pump there, but come up, take out and then we come down after Christmas. Have a bearish stop hunt. We have the first of the year we have a dump, and then in the beginning of the year we start moving. We start making our way to the upside, getting back up to higher targets. Finishing this third three-wave move to the upside. So that's Ethereum. How you guys like? Candy came with a spike. That's right, Chemo. Expanded flat with a B wave. I don't think it's a leading diag in Ethereum, but it would be an expanded flat B. An AB, correct. Yep. Okay, awesome. Let's look at XRP now, because what I like to do is I look at Bitcoin, I look at XRP. What's up, Merle? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, man. Long time no see. Really good to see you on the screen there, man. Miss you. All right. So here is XRP. You say, what's going on with XRP? Well, this is kind of what I'm looking at here. That we've got some kind of an A wave to the upside. This is some kind of a B wave that could be finished, or it's not done yet. And then we're coming up for C. So, we may have to come up here, okay? And this may need to come down and finish this thing, retest these lows. And this would correlate with the downward count with Bitcoin, that we go up here, we finish this three-wave move, and then we go down. So one of those bearish counts that I already shared with you with Bitcoin, okay? So we may go up, excuse me, and do that spike to the high that I've been talking about with you guys. Okay, with XRP, not with XRP, with Ethereum, that spike I just showed you, and Bitcoin, and then we go down for the last wave, okay? And then we go up for a much bigger move to the upside. That's kind of the way I'm seeing XRP. So I think this is due. Come on, this is the 6-hour chart. I think this is very much set up for a potential, nice big retrace here of that wave, okay, and then we could be coming down again. So that's a possibility, okay? That's a possibility. Now, that also correlates with the potential move that I talked about in BTC, where we don't I got to go to a different chart here. Sorry. Excuse me. That spike could correlate with the count that I gave you, where this is A, B, and we're getting a larger C. Okay, and all that is a pullback for a 1-2 to the downside. So this would be a 1, that would be 2, and now we're going for the downside. We don't have to stop at the high with that count. We just call that an extended 3-wave move, get back to this liquidity zone, bounce off this resistance, and then we come down and start impulsing down again. So that's a possibility as well with the XRP, with that move. Okay, let's look at ADA. XLM is ugly as crap, so I want to skip that for now. Let's look at ADA for a moment. Now, ADA, I got excited last night, and I got excited because ADA, I started looking at this. I was looking at this as a triangle, but I looked another way at it, and I said, you know what? That could be an ending diag. You got 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. Boom. There could be an ending diag, and ADA might be done. ADA might be ready. And so I look at ADA, I'm thinking, dang, all of a sudden, I'm bullish as all I can think of. I'm like, man, this looks like it needs to pop to the upside right now. It might, roll over, do one more hit to the low or something. This is a throw over here. It might have a little bit more down in its something like that. But man, it is about ready to pop and pop big for a big move to the upside. Okay, maybe we find resistance here or here, and an impulse move, really, really big. Then we get a 3-way pullback with continuation down the road, 6 months or however long that takes. So, man, but ADA looks like an ending diagonal at the very end. I'm like, oh, man, am I ever bullish on ADA? Excuse me, guys. Woo! If I look at that. Give me 1 second. All right. So yeah, I look at ADA and I'm like, woo-wee, woo-wee. Now let's talk about an outlier count, a different count there. What if this was a triangle indeed? So let's talk about this as a triangle. Okay, that could be a triangle of some kind. 1, A, B, C, D, E, right there. Okay, there it is. There it is. And now we're looking for maybe they're looking for an ending diag now, where you got this is a convoluted 3-wave move, 3-wave move, 3-wave move. We get a little bit of a pullback and then one more low right there, and then that's the 5 waves that finishes after a triangle. So there's an alternate count for you where this could be some kind of a ending diag as well, and that takes us down a bit lower than the last low that we made. Okay, what do you think? What do you think about ADA, guys? Think it's an ending diag, or do you think it's the triangle that's making it, and then it's making an ending diag? Neil, I'll get back to XLM in just a minute. It's just a convoluted piece of nothing. It's really, really hard to know. I'll look at it in just a minute, though. Hey Ryan, what's up, man? Thanks for the tip, man. Appreciate it. So yeah, there's ADA. I like it. I like that count. Do you guys like that count for ADA? Anybody? What do you think? 71 of you watching. All right, let's see here. H bar. Yeah, it's got that ending diag look, doesn't it? Boom. 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 Maybe it's not finished. Maybe it's got to come up a little bit more. And down again. Or it is done. It might need to bottom down here at 3 cents instead of 4 cents. But I think if you hold it, you're going to get a spike on that guy. So close, though. It's really, really close. Hard to say what that structure is. There's another idea that we have a triangle here in the middle. Okay, and so this was 3 waves, A, B, C, and now we have 3 waves here, and it is done. It is done. A, triangle, B, and then C. Thank you. Thank you. And it's done, and we're getting ready to move up here for that C wave. So that kind of makes my flat idea very, very plausible. Okay, and it's going to be a big move here up to there. I think your buy is good as long as it's spot. I think you just hold it, and I think you're good on that guy. Either way, whether we go down a little bit more at 3 cents or whatever, as long as you're not margin trading that, you're in good shape on H bar. I think there's going to be a fast and furious rally. Okay, after this big move to the downside, I think it's going to be a fast and furious rally. It's going to go up fairly quickly like this, but I don't think it's going to go take the top out. I don't think we're going to make all-time highs. It's just going to be another go, and then it'll work it up. Sorry, maybe up to here. Who knows, right? And then it'll work its way back down, play around here for a couple of years here, just pumping and dumping until finally it goes, right? And it may not be as big as I've drawn here. This may smaller pumps and dumps for a long time. But I think very, very plausible here we get a pump here. Let's look at that small time frame. That's a really nice chart, actually, in a lot of ways. Ryan, had you considered that to be a triangle at all? Did you see that as a triangle? It would have to be a running triangle because the B wave came down lower than the origin of A. But man, I like that as a triangle. That looks really good. And so that triangle that you're seeing right there, if that is a triangle. So if that's a triangle, that's the B wave of an ABC. Now, if it's not a triangle, then it's a series of 1-2s, which is a lot scarier. Okay, it's a series. It's got a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then down. So that actually looks pretty decent. That could be instead of an ABC, this could be a W, X, and a Y as well. 3 waves, and it might be finished. It might be done. This might have to roll over. This might have to roll over and come down one more time. Let's look at that real quick. Boom, boom, boom. A lot of hidden bearish divergence on that chart. A lot of hidden bear here on the 30-minute. But is that making an impulse? Is this going to continue on making an impulse? Or is that done as 3 and now we're going to roll down? Let me look at BTC just for a moment on the 1-minute chart, if you could suffer me to do that here. Okay, so I said earlier that this looks like a 3-wave move off the top. Boom. Come on. 1, 2, 3. And that this looks like, man, this kind of resembles... Come on. My computer is lagging. Let me know if y'all can still hear me and see me okay. That kind of looks very good as a leading diag A, B, maybe C right now. They're giving you the sense it's rolling over, but it's not. It's just an ABC, maybe. And then we go up from there. It might get bullish from there. If it breaks this low, then it's bearish. It's more bearish. So if that low gets broken, we're more bearish. That low doesn't get broken and this holds right down here, then you got maybe a 1-2 on your hands. Okay. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. If this low gets broken, this could be either an A, B, and a C, or WXY, or it could be a 1-2. 1-2, and now we're getting a big move down, wave 3, and this is about to dump. We're about to get a big dump if that's the case. It's coming down pretty hard. 3 minutes left on that 15-minute candle. Let's watch this for a minute, guys. Looks like they're going to take this low out. Looks like they really want to push and take this low out, but it's not for certain. But it looks fairly bearish there. But I wouldn't be surprised if a candle came in and took it out, bullish to the upside. I've seen that over and over and over. So you just don't know. When you see this, you just don't know. Until it takes the low out, you just don't know. Once it takes the low out, then we can say, okay, it's not a 1-2 to the upside. You can rule that out. Watch for a minute. Looking pretty bearish here, guys, there. So let's see if we get an engulfing here, right here to save the day. Back to the upside. It takes this low out, then we're going to say, okay, we got a 1-2 and possibly a 3 working, or an ABC, and then, which if it does break that, we could have an ABC working, and then if that ABC turns into a 2-wave, it wouldn't be clear, but this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and then we go up. Now, one thing I haven't considered here as a possibility, but I'm not so inclined to it, but could we have a flat here, A, B, and we get a 5-wave move C to come down and retest the bottom here? So you get some kind of a 5-wave move there, in which case, if we get that, that's still bullish for another wave. It's just stop hunting, right? They come up, they took this top out, they come back in, take this bottom out, okay? And then they take it up again, take all this, and they come down. That would be either 1, 1, 2, and that's up we go, or that's A, B, C, and then we come down we go. A, B, or 1, 2, and that's where we are. There's so many things that can happen in here. It's just got to kind of wait and see what price is going to do. 5-minute, we've broken structure. To the downside, that's broken structure. That's not certain that's definitely bearish, but it certainly looks a lot more bearish than it does bullish right now. Okay, how we doing? Bought off market sentiment and price. You know what? It's not always a bad play, buddy. Especially if you're spot trading. Stream's good. Thanks, Seth. Appreciate it. Dumped to 16.3 for the last wave down thing. Yeah. And anti-BK? Absolutely. Possibly, for sure. Yeah, actually, this is a new house. Moved to Michigan, Jen. So, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, let's take a peek at SPX and okay, let's look at XLM first because I promised to. Then let's look at the DXY and the SPX, and we'll call it a stream tonight. Okay, so that's where we are. XLM. All right, XLM wave structure sucks. This really looks like a triangle up here. And then what do you got here? You know, it's really hard to tell what that is. Is that 5 waves done, maybe? Who knows? It's really ugly. 1, 2. What is that? What is that? 3. We get 4 and 5, or is this 3? Is that a triangular 4 right there? And now we're in the middle of wave 5. We got to hit the low once, and then we're done. Sorry. Hard to say. This wave is... It's anybody's guess right there. I don't like it. It's really, really ugly. Could we have a diagonal like... See, I don't think we have the diagonal... Well, we could. Let's see here. Like in XRP. Is that... Boom. And then we put 3 here. We're in the middle of 4. Maybe it's a flat 4, and then we get 5. So we get this move up, and then we get another 3 waves down. And then that finishes at 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. There's a possibility for you right there. That's a way to count it, maybe. Or we put the 3 here, right? We put the 3 right there. Get the 4 back up, overlapping the 1, and then down again for 5. Potential right there. That's the potential. But XLM, like the market, is really close. Guys, I think the entire market, and this should have been my title, but the market is almost ready for a largish, fastish bounce. That if you're looking for spot areas, we're in the zone for spot buys. Okay? We're in the zone. That's assuming the crypto market continues on and it isn't derailed by the collapse of exchange after exchange after exchange. If something happens, this FTX was like the first domino of a series of crashes of other exchanges for some reason, right? And the crypto market begins changing because of that. Then we may experience that dump very fast and furious, rather than a pump that I'm seeing as a potential. We may experience that dump that comes faster and sooner than later. All right, and then all of a sudden, the crypto world is just absolutely obliterated. The money is stolen from them. Everybody, because all the exchanges crash or whatever. And then somehow there's a rebuilding and maybe a regulating and a rebuilding of the crypto market, and then it goes. So that's the scary thing about this market that we're in. The powers that be don't want anybody to have anything. They're not going to let you have anything. So it's almost better to be in cash right now until the blood in the streets. $1,000 Bitcoin, $4,000, $5,000 Bitcoin. And then maybe hold it in a private wallet if you want to take a chance on it coming back. That's the ultimate doomsday scenario. Which, if that's not part of your possibilities that you're looking at, then you need to reconsider what you're doing. If you're only Moon Boy and you can't even fathom a world in which crypto as we know it gets demolished, where the blockchain technology stays, but crypto as we know it gets demolished, and maybe only a handful of cryptos, make it through. Maybe Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum, DeFi, and maybe XLM and XRP for banks or whatever. Maybe only a handful of cryptos make it. Monero for security, whatever, right? But everything else just gets demolished, and then your money, you lose all your money, and then you're speculative. We never get the bounce that everybody's hoping for. We never get the big bounce that we got once upon a time. We got that, and we say, hey, yeah, we got to. The next time we do it, it's going to be bigger and better. Not necessarily. Not you have to understand that one scenario is that this is the process of death. At best, we may get a dead cat bounce here pretty soon, where we get just a quick dead cat bounce to get everybody buying again, get everybody bullish again, and then they come down to do the final death blow to whatever assets they're doing. Okay, so you got to realize that there's no guarantee and there's no certainty that this thing is just going to go on up for higher highs, and this is just the beginning stages. There's no guarantees of that. This could be death to crypto. Now, I'm not shilling that. I'm not fudding that. I'm simply saying that you've got to understand that there are scenarios out there that say, hey, this isn't all there is. Okay, looks like we might be getting a little bit of a rollover right now. I don't like it. Looks real dumpy. And we broke that low, and then some speed should come here. Unless we're going to find support at the next for just an ABC. Oh, the daily candle just closed and opened. So that was the daily turnover right there. So yeah, that's important to note. Take a peek here at the daily candle. Excuse me. The man, that's a really bearish. I would love to see at least one daily candle that comes back up here like that. Maybe retests this zone here. And then comes on down. Yeah, the two-day order block is right there. 17.2, which I think Chemo mentioned earlier. So I wouldn't mind at least a retrace there. You look at the daily chart, and man, it just looks. It looks pretty bearish for sure. And you'd like to see a retest here. All right. Let's look at SPX here. The S&P here, 2-day chart. We could have a leading diag working, okay? What that means is that this could be off the top. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there, leading diagonal, okay? And that's it. That's it. Now we're actually getting upside. That this is the A wave. We're getting a B wave to the downside, and we're going to get C. So this is who knows what shape this wave is going to take. Maybe that rollover is all we get. The 3-wave move that we got there, and then we're gonna start working our way up for a C wave here, okay? And we're gonna come up and rally like that big move I'm talking about with Bitcoin. That could be happening here as well, okay? With S&P, that we're gonna get a 3-wave rally here at Christmas time, or into March, or first quarter of March, or whatever, before we start down for the next leg of the journey. Here, let's draw it like this. We start coming down deeper, okay? Something like that, and that's where we come back down to maybe support here. We find some support back down in this range, and that could be an ABC of some kind. On the the monthly chart of some kind, and then we look for you know, this could be some kind of fourth wave where we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we look for 5. Okay, and then that becomes the last leg of the S&P, get up to 6,500 or something like that. It's very possible and plausible there. So anyway, the current state of affairs here on the 4-hour chart is that we're looking for, after this thing corrects, this could be 5 waves to the upside, 3 back. This might not be completely done, or it could be done, and now we're getting ready to start over the next couple of months a move back to the upside of C wave. Okay, so we're close here. This may come down deeper. Okay, this may come down deeper here, or it may be done now. Who knows? Who knows? It always seems to come down deeper than you expect it to, right? Longer than you expect it. It takes longer than you want it to. That could be a 3-wave move down, which it looks like it needs to come down a little deeper, and then we get another 5-wave move back to the upside. Okay, so there's a possibility right there as far as a 3-wave move back up. So we got a leading diag. Okay, so that's one count. Let's talk about another count here of this wave. So that's one way to look at that. The other way to look at it is that we're actually getting some kind of a flat or WXY, where this is the W wave or the A wave. Okay, this is a 3, 3, and I'm looking for 5 B wave, and then we come down for C. In other words, this is 3. That's 3 instead of 5, and we're looking for 5 waves. That would allow us to get a pump real fast here, and this be a 5-wave move in ABC, and then we come down. In fact, that wouldn't be an ABC, that would be a WXY in that case, depending on how high the C wave came. So if the C wave came all the way 90% back, which I don't think it's going to at this stage, but if it did, if it then we'd call it an A, B, C as a flat. But I'm not seeing that play, but it could. I imagine it could start pumping, you know, in 5 waves to the upside. But that's the other look at it. Both of them kind of give us a 3-wave shape, you know, on the charts, and we're not finished with this wave to the upside in both of those counts. So those are my 2 counts for the S&P 500 there. That's the way I'm looking at that market for now. So those are 2 counts, and I'm watching both of them. We'll see how it plays and how the chart develops, and we'll address it, you know, from there. Okay. All right. Let's look at DXY as well and see what DXY is doing. Now, the DXY is challenging for a lot of reasons. Okay. The wave structure on the DXY is never very countable. It's always very hard. It's always very challenging. I mean, for instance, right here, this wave right here, this is some kind of an impulse wave, but it's got an extended 5th wave right there, and it makes it just hard to see, hard to understand. So it's really hard, and it's a lot of 3s. You know, this just looks like a lot of 3s. So, you know, I mean, what are we dealing with here? Are we dealing with 3 that's about finished? I would say there's room for another hit to the low right now. That's what I'm kind of waiting for. That's what I would like to see, and that would allow BTC and the S&P to kind of go up, you know, from here. That pump I'm talking about, if this starts dumping to these levels, because last week wasn't actually very good news for the DXY on the immediate term, even though the longer term it has some better news for the DXY. You know, stronger, you know, with the raising of rates next year and whatnot. You know, they didn't raise rates beyond what was expected. Inflation is still higher than expected. You know, manufacturing is down, so there's a lot of negatives to the DXY right now that I think the DXY should be making another move to the downside, while the Euro USD and the GBP should be pumping for a little while to the upside. That's the way the charts look in my perspective. So I can see one more rollover to the downside to come back to this level right there to finish some kind of maybe a 5-wave or a 3-wave move, okay, before we get a real reaction back to the upside over the next you know, half a year to a year before we come down again. Okay, that's part of my thinking right now. That this is really dumping. Okay. This is really, and we could come down even to these levels here. okay, back down to here. If it wants to dump fast and furious, just take a look at this wave right there. Let me get on the daily chart so you can see it, and take a look at that wave right there. We might be in that kind of a wave, something very dumpy, which means the other markets should be pumping to some degree, back to the upside, in a bullish way. So that's if this is not finished, which I'm not so convinced it's finished. Now, could we get a corrective wave back to the upside here? Could we get a little bit of a move like that before we come down? Absolutely, yes. We could get like that, and that move would send the BTC markets down, right? It would send S&P down temporarily, right, until it starts dumping again. And then the other markets would start pumping again, because as people sell the dollar, they're putting their money in the asset, right, in other assets, and so other markets would tend to pump as the DXY fell. So I would say, that's kind of what I'm seeing with the DXY right there. Could this, I would personally, it would make sense to me to see this roll over right about now from where we are, just roll over and kind of go down now. The way this wave structure is looking, it looks like it's just not done. It looks like a series of 1 2 1 2 to the downside. Okay, it looks very very impulsive to the downside potentially. I don't like it. Looks to be an unfinished structure. It looks like it's revving up here for a much larger and faster move to the downside. Now, as always, I could be wrong on that, but this move makes sense to me if a move like this started coming soon. Okay, this could go up a little higher first and then come down. That would give BTC a chance to go down lower, hit our lower targets first, and then we start to see that pump. So if we see a big dump in the DXY like that, I would not be surprised to see something like that. It's hard to time it exactly because we had so many different little scenarios. But at the end of the day, I can see on the DXY chart a big move down coming, which means I think the other markets are actually going to be pumping. Okay, so I am looking for a rally between now and the first quarter of the year. I would think sometime a rally in that time frame, but in preparation for another dump, another move to the downside. I would think. As always, these are just my ideas based on what I'm seeing in the wave structure, but I don't know anything. I don't know the future. I'm not here to predict the future or call the future. I'm just looking at wave structure with you and saying I could totally see this playing out just like that, just coming on down for the next wave, or even a much bigger wave to the downside. And that would mean that the other markets might have an irrational pump ahead of them that was like, ooh, it could be the Christmas surprise. Could be any number of things around this Christmas time. Could be a pump. So, I'm kind of cautious this week, the week before Christmas, to see if we get a pumpy week to the upside that goes up and takes that high out on Bitcoin, like we talked about. I think that's plausible. Looking for a move, something like that on the charts, and that might even finish some kind of a WXY or something like that. That's just real ugly and nasty. It could also finish just a three-wave move right there. That this was the bottom of this wave here. We finish this move and then we come down for one more. Okay, so something like that. I'm watching out for things like that. All right, what say you guys? You guys get the last word. What do you think? Let's just take a peek at what you guys are saying. I've been ignoring you for a little while. So let's see. Just a couple of people. Looks like the previous bottom on the left with one more low needed. I'm not sure which chart you were talking about. All the fear on the other exchanges. Contagion is likely just fear to keep retail from buying. Markets bottom on such fear. Okay, maybe so. CME chart. Yeah, Seth. Let me take a look at that in just a minute. Jen, let's see. They're now aware of this and are mandated to correct it. Binance will not be spared, but Binance will have the resources to pay for all past mistakes. All other exchanges will need to comply It's a good thing in the end. Yes, compliant crypto and Bitcoin will be better for the next run. Absolutely, Jen. Thanks for that. Jen has inside knowledge on the way exchanges work. Let me just say that. And I appreciate you sharing that, Jen. I really do. Really appreciate you saying that. So for the greatest liquidity, in my opinion here, maybe a pump to take out this high here, and then a dump to take out this low, and then a pump to take out all that liquidity there. So that would be my best case scenario, my favorite count of everything that I've shared with you today as a review. All right, let's look at the CME chart as the last and final from my friend Seth, and see what happens. Let's see what that chart looks like. CME. Okay. All right, so is that a triangle on the CME chart? That looks interesting. A, B, C, D, E. And we have a W, X, Y that's finished. Could be a WXY that's finished, right? And so this could be pulling back a little bit to retest this area before it goes down again and finishes a 5-wave move. Much like we got this pullback right here, a really fast and quick pullback and then down. So watch out for a fast and quick pullback and then down. Of course, that was a flat. But yeah, this might want to trend up here overnight and then come down for 5. So that's a possible. Just instead of stop hunting the high, we just go up for a retrace and then we come down again. So is that a triangle? Yeah, good. It's potential there for a triangle. But that would be an A, B, C. Or WXY, and then so this is boom, boom, and then boom. We come back, retest this area, the order block here on the 2-day. We got a 2-day order block here. It would be nice to come back right there, 17,130 on the CME chart. Retest that area. And then dump. And this is a finished flag. It's a finished pullback. Okay. But again, we could take the high out like so, and that could be A, B, and then we could get or WXY. That could be that Y wave could be more complex like so. Okay. So we could come up a little higher. It's possible. So we could be done and ready to come down, or we could come take the high out and then come down. Same thing, same ideas. Just gets a little bit more complex, right? But ultimately, we would be looking at this as A, B, down to here somewhere, and then C. So if that's a triangle in there, that's the way I'd interpret it, if it's a triangle. If it's not a triangle, it's not a triangle! It's not a triangle. What else could it be? 3 up.
Flood, and then the flood freezes. That wouldn't be good.
3 down, 5 up. Could be an ending diag. So the diag here plays pretty well, and it looks about finished as well. Maybe that's an outlier. That wick is an outlier. The 3 isn't the shortest in that scenario. 3. That could totally be a flat right there. It's ugly as crap, but 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay. In which case, that could be done. I mean, that could be finished right there. Again, it kind of looks that way. It looks like it, So if we get a retest here, and then a continuation, I would not be surprised. I would love to see a hit to the high first and then down, but I think on the CME chart it looks much more A, B, C. With the diag as an ender, that looks really good. What do you think, Seth? What do you think about that, buddy? Yeah, okay. Decrypto wants me to look at BNB real fast. Yeah, let me take a peek at it. BNB, I'm a little bit bullish on BNB. I kind of see this as a flat here, and I think I'd like to see this go up. So that's one way to look at it, the way I've drawn right there. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of look at this as maybe, now certainly this could come down and hit the low again and then do that. That's one way I'm looking at BNB. How else can I look at BNB? Here, and this is the 4-hour chart. Something like that. Yeah, hard to say. I like this as reversal-ish. It's kind of retesting here, this breakout. Let's see. Let's see if it busts out of here tonight or not. BNB's up or down. I can kind of see it. Yeah, I was looking at it. I mean, I was kind of looking at BNB as a long-term. The weekly... the weekly I still see a flat, and that's why I kind of drew that. This looks more likely 3, 3. It may have a little bit more down to go, and then 5. So either a WXY or a 333, and we could put it here and have that as a flat or something like that. But this just looks 3-wave-ish right here. We're gonna get that before that, right? So I see this pump sometime. This may dump first and then pump. That's the question with BTC, but we're looking for that and then that. Okay, so we're gonna pump it, the market makers get the better price, and then dump it on everybody. Okay, so you got to watch out for that. All right, guys. Well, I got to get ready for the Commanders Giants game tonight. I'll be watching that in about an hour on Sunday Night Football. That's my team, by the way. I'm from Virginia originally, and I'm a Redskins fan. Redskins/Commanders, if whatever. I'm a Redskins fan. I like to call them Redskins. So yeah, I want to watch that. That's why we did the Sunday night charts early tonight. I really enjoyed being with you. Hopefully, hopefully you enjoyed being with me tonight. There's 55 of you still here, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hopefully all those charts help you in some way. I know there's a lot of, man, my phone's going off like crazy. No, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. I'm probably going to get a midweek video out, and then probably won't do Sunday night charts next Sunday, as it is Christmas. So probably won't be doing that. I'll probably be off. And so you guys have a Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you for letting me share at the beginning. And we'll talk to you guys later. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.